we had Governor Pence at Liberty University, and he's talking to Christians there, and he's saying, what you need to do is to forgive Donald Trump for this tape that was cut 10 years ago, that was released to distract attention from the emails that came out. And I guess really what we ought to look at with this is really he's calling on them to reject a policy of calculated defamation, a policy of direct character assassination. This is a policy that has come from the Bushes, from the Clintons. It's come from the Democrats and the Republicans, because it's the establishment that is threatened by Donald Trump. Many Christians don't understand this, but Mike Pence said that Christians should forgive Donald Trump. He says, as Christians, we're called to forgive even as we have been forgiven. He said, Sunday night, my running mate showed humility. He showed what was in his heart to the American people. But today, Obama is in North Carolina, and he's ridiculing Christians who say that they would forgive Donald Trump. Obama says, well, I'm a Christian, and so I'm all about forgiveness because nobody's perfect. If somebody does something terrible, I can forgive them, I suppose, if they're sincere about it, but I don't want them necessarily leading the country. Would he say that about Bill Clinton? When we found out that Bill Clinton was running for re-election and he had raped these women, he had sexually assaulted them. We're not talking about consensual sex. That's the way Ken Starr covered for Bill Clinton. He had a long list of corruption, of violent crimes against women, but he chose to focus on perjury that was committed about consensual sex with Monica Lewinsky. So he got that little tiny thing there and committed him, got him impeached on perjury. But they let the big crimes go. So is Obama saying that he doesn't necessarily want people leading the country? Understand that Bill raped them, Hillary went to war against them, and they haven't asked for forgiveness. They haven't even acknowledged their crimes, okay? Donald Trump said he would like to commit adultery with this woman, and he struck out. Bill doesn't strike out. If you say no, he just keeps going, okay? That's the reality of it, and he hasn't apologized or even acknowledged it, and neither has Hillary Clinton. And there was an article from the AP today asking, why do evangelicals prefer Donald Trump to Hillary Clinton? And a couple of evangelical leaders have come out and said, well, that's it. I don't like what he had to say. I don't like the fact that he wanted to commit adultery. I don't like the language that he's using, so I'm not going to support him. The wiser evangelical leaders, people like James Dobson of Focus on the Family, of Family Talk, came out and said, we have to understand that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton's support for abortion is criminal. How do you make an equivalence there? Do you understand that if you vote for Hillary Clinton, not only is she going to murder children and support that, murdering them for their body parts, but she is also going to shut down your religious freedom. She's going to put a gag rule on you Christians, and that's just the beginning of it. Can't you understand that? Of course, some others understand that as well. Jerry Falwell Jr. understands that not only is that are those the key issues involved here, that there are key moral differences between the policies that we would have between these two people as president, but he also understands that this whole thing was a setup. Just understand that whether or not you believe that Donald Trump has repented, whether or not you believe that Donald Trump is a Christian, really isn't relevant. Remember, going back to the Bible, where God used leaders that were pagan leaders that did all kinds of things, and yet he would use them to deliver his people. People like kings like Darius that he would use to deliver his people, or Cyrus, he would take them by the hand. He said to deliver his people. Would they say, I'm sorry, I don't want to be delivered because this guy has got some, he worships idols, he's got 1,000 different wives, or whatever the problems were that they had with him? No, we need to understand that there's some key issues, and for Christians alone, the issues of abortion and the First Amendment should be enough to make that decision very clear for